Jalen, I'm going to tell you why my championship pick, the Lakers, are looking great and why your championship pick, the Clippers, are in trouble. But first, we start with more Miami Marlins testing positive. 4 more Marlins testing positive, bringing the total to 17 Marlins testing positive. The Nationals took a vote, said they do not want to go into Miami to play this weekend. Jalen, what does this mean for Major League Baseball?
A good friend of mine is one of the minority owners of the Nationals, and I talked to him about this topic. And being the defending World Series champions, a squad that won it all after Bryce Harper left and got a $300 million deal elsewhere. This is an organization that feels like it's on the uprise. So therefore, why take a chance right now, Jacoby? We literally cannot ignore science. I don't care if it's an analyst, an athlete, a politician. You know who they're not? Anthony Fauci. And you know what he knows? Exactly what may happen during this period of time. And for some reason, baseball and the NFL are going to ignore that the NBA is in a bubble, WNBA is in a bubble, MLS. There's fight islands with Dana White. There's hub cities with the NHL that tested over 700 people that had 0 positive tests. And for some strange reason, Major League Baseball and the NFL feel that they're going to have seasons and not put their players in a bubble. I just don't see this execution actually taking place, Jacoby.
I mean, if you're not going to go to a bubble, I suggest that they no longer have home games in the states where the virus is the strongest and the cases are the highest. Why fly to Miami? It's not just playing against the Marlins that I'm sure the Nationals are concerned about. The whole state of Florida is spiking right now. When you go to the hotel, when you get food, when you travel there, when you get in the plane, all those other opportunities to be exposed to the virus is just not worth it. I understand why you would not go to Miami. I suggest that both the NFL and the MLB, if they're not going to go any sort of bubble experience, test as heavy as they can and do not play home games in the states and cities where the virus and the cases are the highest. Well, a lot of NFL players are a little concerned about this season, so much so that they decided to opt out of the season. 6 of them are New England Patriots, including Dante Hightower and Patrick Chung, a couple big names there. Hightower just had a child over the summer. Jalen, what do you make of these players just opting out of the season?
LDT, Laurent Duvernay of the Kansas City Chiefs, the offensive lineman, he's a hero, Jacoby. For him to opt in Canada as somebody that works in medicine, that is practicing, to make sure that he gave service during this period of time versus blocking for Patrick Mahomes, a guy that just got $500 million, that says something. I want to put to rest all of the Patriot, they're so smart that they're making their players sit so that they can draft Trevor Lawrence. Not going to be able to do it. They're not trying to have a losing season after Tom Brady left. That's why they got Cam Newton for $1 million on the low side and upwards of $7 million. They're trying to be competitive. They're not that much smarter than the rest of the league.
Not at all. It's interesting that so many New England Patriots have opted out of the season, but that list is not that long when you consider just how many players there are in the NFL in its entirety. But we will keep an eye on this. If more and more players start opting out, it'll be really interesting to see how the league itself reacts. Jalen, it's interesting to see how you react to this because you picked the Los Angeles Clippers to be the champions in the bubble in Orlando. Well, guess what? Kawhi Leonard not playing like a finals MVP. He didn't play well last night, and this is how he's performed in the bubble thus far in 3 games. Look at the discrepancy between his regular season performance and his bubble performance this far. 26% from the field, Jalen. 26% from the field. How concerned are you about your Clippers, Freely Will?
I'm concerned that 2 of their players, Kawhi Leonard and Lou Williams, we've seen footage of them in adult entertainment establishments. Not that they were there, that people actually videoed them, used pictures of them, and posted them on the internet. Those people need to be arrested, Jacoby, right now. Those people need to be arrested. I'm not really concerned about Kawhi Leonard. I know how much you love LeBron James. But Kawhi Leonard also has a chance to win Finals MVP for his third team. They have a couple of months to get themselves together. And I believe playing without fans and his stoic demeanor actually benefits Kawhi.
Okay. Earlier you said not to deny the science, but let's not deny his performance in the first 3 games. 26% from the field and 22% from 3. I understand there could be some rust after 4 months off. It's a new environment. It's a bubble environment. It's strange. But those are 3 really shaky performances. And when you look at the Clippers over the course of this season, they've never really played together all at the same time. And when you look at the numbers of when their key players are on the court versus off the court, there's a huge difference in minus. So, Jalen, that's another reason to be concerned. Don't you agree?
That is a reason to be concerned if they're not so very accomplished and talented in their own right. I talked about what Kawhi is bringing to the table. Paul George has distinguished himself as an all-NBA performer and a lockdown defender as well that can guard multiple positions. So can Patrick Beverley, who improved his three-point shooting. Montrezl Harrell, a great finisher. Him and Lou Williams could share the 6th man of the year. So they have their closing 5, Jacoby. We just need to find a way to get them healthy, quarantined, and like all playing at a high level before they play against your Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, guess what? You guys are struggling for production. You guys, your Clippers, don't have all their players together. Los Angeles Lakers, they're getting production from everywhere. Dion Waiters had 18 last night, and my God, J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith was 6 for 7 from 3. 6 for 7 from 3. LeBron didn't play. AD didn't play. It gave an opportunity for these new pickups to really show out in Orlando. Jalen, do you think they're going to get real playoff production from J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters?
I do, and you know this because you've been working in this industry for over 20 years. You're called to give a prediction. You give a prediction based on the information you have right now.
Sure.
And right now, if I was doing a pole position, the Lakers in the West should be in first. LeBron, AD, and then I saw Kyle Kuzma make about 4 or 5 threes the other day. I seen Dion Waiters going in his bag at the end of the game, at the end of the quarter, getting to the bucket, finishing, feeling good about himself. I seen JR hitting it off the side of the backboard and then making about 4 or 5 threes. I see all of this happening. This is great for the Lakers, a squad that will not have Bradley, that will not have Rondo, that have players Dwight Howard, Waiters, and Smith, all giving them more productivity than anybody could have imagined.
And all 3 of those players were completely written off by fans and people that work in the league themselves. And look at the performance that they've done thus far, especially Dwight Howard. I mean, J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters have looked good in a couple scrimmages so far, but they're getting real production from all 3 of those in Orlando. And Jalen, there was a report from Chris Haynes, our guy, Chris Haynes, and he said one thing that stood out to him was how loud the Lakers seemed inside that bubble environment with no fans, just how animated they were, how much they support each other. You know how LeBron James sort of does that and he builds that culture with the handshakes and the support of each other. It just seems like they're having fun. Well, you look at the Clippers, and the Clippers are dealing with the Lou Will controversy, and they're having people going in and out, Pat Bev coming in and out, Montrezl Harrell coming in and out. Now you've got Lou Will stuck in a hotel room for about 8 more days. I really feel like not only do the Lakers have the pole position, but the Lakers are the clear favorites to come out of the West. And Jalen, I'm gonna let you have one opportunity to move off your stance. Are you still right now picking the Clippers to come out of the Western Conference?
You're a highly trained professional, and I like what you did there. Like, I'm going to box him into a corner with a firing squad staring at him, so therefore he must answer right now. And yes. I'm still going to stand next to the Clippers because I know LeBron James leads the league in assists, and the Clippers have multiple people that should be able to turn him, to be able to make him work to get the ball up the floor, to get them into their offense, to distort it just a little bit to the point that it gives the Clippers an advantage with their depth. So yes, Shamet, Zubac, Morris, I am still riding with the Clip set for now.
They have no one that can stop LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And you're making that face for a reason because you know if it comes down to a 7-game series, you know in your heart of hearts. You know in your heart of hearts.
Well, you said it. You ready for this? Here's what I want people to know. if Anthony Davis performs like a top 5 player, the Clippers shouldn't have a chance against the Lakers. They shouldn't even have a chance. Zubac ain't good enough. Harrell ain't tall enough. Morris ain't big or tall enough. If he plays like we anticipate him being able to play, you're right. Your squad should win. But I was at the game initially when they played previous, and he started off a little shaky before he got himself together. Look at that footage. Even shot an air ball. But if AD ball like he's supposed to, Lakers purple and gold.
Well, AD poses a problem for any defense. Another person that does, Giannis. And Jalen, I have to remind you of something. You have a vote for MVP this year. I know you're going to pick Giannis, but you get so stressed out around this time of year. You get so stressed out when they give you the ballot, whether or not you can put it in on time, the technology, and who you're going to vote for. I'm personally insulted because you always consult me before you vote, and you have not asked one single question about any of these awards to me yet, and I'm personally insulted. You've disrespected me. You've disrespected me.
I'm going to treat you like I did and vice versa because we're family, we're brothers. The night that we met in Strokers in Atlanta. And what you don't know is the ballot is due at midnight tonight on Tuesday. And in Detroit right now, around 4:45, 5:30, when I'm standing in front of the grill with my slides on, corns out, thighs showing, with my shorts, undershirt, sun beaming, beverage in my hand, that's when I'll do my voting. So expect a call around 5:30, 6 p.m. Eastern. In particular, when I start to get towards the work, like all NBA teams, all defensive
NBA
teams,
tricky.
I need your support, sir. So hopefully you're available.
I got you. Jalen,
Thank you.
we have an update on Carson Wentz.
Murray did last season. Keep it moving for now.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
Zion Williamson.
Hit the brakes. Hit the brakes. Did you say Zion? Hit the brakes.
Zion. He just hit the brakes. That's the way it is. He's expected to return to practice on Wednesday. That is tomorrow. Jalen, do you expect to see Zion playing live action anytime soon?
See, Zion in my life is like Larry Bird, is like Redman, like the Beastie Boys. Somebody that I love so very much, but my right-hand man, my ace Boone Coon, likes him a lot more, so they snatch it from me, and I can't even appreciate him. Jacoby likes Zion more than I do, so I can't even give Zion love. When I try to talk about Zion, he gets offended. So you go ahead. That's your man. He back in the bubble.
I love.
Did he go to have
Zion
wings?
so much.
Did he go to wings? Did he go have wings?
I'm sure he had some wings. I love the stretch mark rookie of the year so much. I'm going to call him like a stretch mark 4. He's a stretch mark 4 probably, but just no one. I've never seen a basketball player like him. His athleticism, his build, his abilities. And you've only really seen him finish in the NBA. You have not seen his playmaking, which is something we saw a lot of in Duke. I love Zion so much. I can't get enough Zion. The league engineered the bubble so Zion would not just be in it, but they padded the Pelicans' schedule to try to give him a shot at the 8th seed to have him against LeBron in round 1. And I'm 1,000% in support of anything that gets us Zion versus LeBron in round 1.
Zion, I promise, I love you too, but he just loves you more.
I absolutely do. Moving on. Carson Wentz has a bone to pick.
Hit the brakes on this one.
Or hit the brakes. Oh, really? NFL Network's listed their top 100 players, and Carson Wentz, oh, wait, he wasn't even ranked. He was not even in the top 100 players. Jalen, your thoughts?
It was just reparations from a couple of years ago when he was ranked number 3 prematurely, and then they put him at 96, and then they won the Super Bowl without him. And then last year, he actually played really well and should have been higher than the previous ranking. And for some reason, they made him lower. All he's going to do is come out here and ball. I got something for you. I looked down at my phone and I text this to Himbo, Paul Himbagides, a great researcher.
Oh, what?
And I was like, the Eagles got a lot of speed this offseason. He was like, they're the first team ever to get 3 guys that run 4.4 or less in the same summer.
I can't get over how you say his name. Everybody calls him Hembo because he's got a hard last name to say. It's Paul Hembekitis, I believe. Shout out to you, Hembo. We're going to move on. Bradley McDougald is saying that there is a new jet on the way, potentially. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes. We love super teams.
Brand new jet, Bradley McDougald, who came over to the Jets with a bunch of round 1 picks, says that he spoke to Jadeveon Clowney, and Clowney wants to be on the Jets. Do you think there's a deal there to be made?
Yo, let me tell you something. There are deals within deals. And if the Jets, Mike Greenberg, open your ears. If the Jets made this move with Adams, knowing bringing Dougal and the picks would get Clowney, it's a slam dunk for the Jets. It's a slam dunk for the Jets.
I mean, the Clowney and Cam Newton and like J.R. Smith and Carmelo Anthony, sometimes you look at these players like, why aren't they on a team? Also, Colin Kaepernick, just to throw him in there as well. When you look at these players, like, why aren't these players on a team? I don't understand it.
Look down at your phone. Look down at your phone. J.R. Smith was like, good looking, dog, for putting me in that class.
Oh, that's my guy. That's my guy. You see him. Keenan Allen went on a little bit of a rampage yesterday. Hit the brakes. Keenan Allen, he said that he called out Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and said that he was a better receiver than anybody in his division. Does he have a legit stance here?
So you ready for this? I didn't play in the NFL, but I know what time those games come on Sunday, on Monday, and on Thursday. And there can't be a human being walking the face of the earth that have watched more games than me. And I'll just tell you this. DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the NFL. Let me rewind the tape.
I agree.
DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the NFL. He got hands like Odell in style. He got size like Julio. He got speed like Tariq. DeAndre Hopkins, when you see him play with Kyler Murray this year, we're not going to be having this conversation after this year. Mike Evans, love him. Godwin, love him. Julio, animal. Mike Thomas, terrific hands. Ain't nobody seeing DeAndre Hopkins. That's my opinion.
Jalen, you have a hand in creating some of these versus battles. It just so happens that you speak it into existence sometimes because you had Chris Brown and Usher trending. You had Dog versus Dog, DMX versus Snoop. Are we on the verge of another one? Because none other than Juicy J went to Twitter and he called out who? He called out Nas. Juicy J versus Nas. Jalen, I love Juicy J. You got a unique sound. One of my favorites. You know it, Juicy J, when you hear it. But come on, dog. Jalen, what do you think about this potential matchup?
Jacoby, you know I'm highly invested in this. Shout out to my brother, Swiss Beats, who allows me to be a part of this and takes my opinions and advice on certain versus battles. Here's what I'll tell you.
Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen JJ Redick was on a podcast and he said that Steph gets disrespected. Do you think Steph is disrespected?
As a guard that plays in the league, he better say that because he's going to have to guard him at some point when the Splash Brothers return because they were both injured this year. Draymond Green is going to play a lot better next year. They added Wiggins and they're going to have a lottery pick. The Warriors will be in the Western Conference Finals next year.
Interesting prediction. Jalen, it is time for our Lou Will moment of the day. Every day we will celebrate Lou Will while he is in his 10-day quarantine, guilty of eating chicken wings. Here he is dunking on Robert Sacre Bleu.
Free Lou Will! Free Lou Will!
Free Lou Will! Free Lou Will! Lou Will ate some wings at a restaurant. That's what he is guilty of. This man is being punished for eating wings at a restaurant. There is no justice in the bubble.
What about all of the phony adults that act like, oh, it's such a bad thing? Oh, my goodness. And it's more strip clubs in their hometown than in colleges and universities.
We will be co-hosting First Take tomorrow. Tune into that and stay tuned because Dan Le Batard and Highly Questionable is up next.